Hey everybody, today I am doing the Authortube Newbie Tag. Alright, so I'm taking a break from Camp NaNoWriMo stuff to do the Authortube Newbie Tag. I've been filming for a few weeks, so I figured it's time. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, so I will link to the creator of this tag, Jenna the Dark One, down below. Let's get going. Question 1. How did you find out about Authortube? Probably the same way a lot of people do. I suppose I started on BookTube watching everybody's book reviews and stuff, and from there I found writers who were talking about the writing, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. That's a really cool community. I've actually been watching other author-tubers for years now before I finally decided to take the plunge. So yeah, just through my own YouTube habits and watching booktubers, and I discovered other author-tubers. So question 2, what genres do you write in? I would say contemporary fantasy is my main genre. Beneath that, you know, the urban fantasy type stuff, it's supernatural creatures, magic. I love that kind of stuff. Some fantasy, some sci-fi, but overall I really enjoy just the contemporary fantasy. Everything kind of set in our modern world, just maybe a few details changed here and there. I really like it. I mostly write for the young adult market, I suppose, although there's probably a lot of crossover because many of my characters are older teens, or the book series I write will follow teenagers into early adulthood. So I would prefer to write in the new adult market, but I know that has certain connotations of just being smutty, and that's not what I write. They're not quite young adult teenagers, and I tend to write some darker stuff, and I don't know. So yeah, dark contemporary fantasy. Question 3, I'm gonna have to read it. What is your preferred writing tense, point of view, and category of story? Okay, so I already answered the category of story, that young adult / new adult, basically. Preferred writing tense. I'd have to say present tense, even though my current whip is in past tense. There's one character that every time I switch to his point of view, he wants to narrate in present tense, and I'm just like, I have to catch myself because the rest of the book's in past tense. But some of the other projects I've started have been written in present tense. So I guess I'd have to say that. I like the immediacy of it, even though past tense doesn't feel that far off. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. I guess it kind of goes with the point of view. So my favorite point of view is third person, I suppose. Mostly because I like to switch point of views between characters. And I really like third person for that. So third person, present tense is my favorite. Question 4, are you a plotter, pantser, or plantser? I guess I'm a plantser. Well, my first draft I wrote without an outline, but I knew the major plot points, right? I knew the beginning, I knew certain events that I wanted to happen, I knew the climax, and I knew the end. It was all the stuff in the middle that I just kind of let my characters have fun with. So I outlined after the first draft to kind of aid in my revision process when I wanted to make major structural edits, because my book's really long, so I'm trying to fix that and make it not so long. So for future projects, I want to outline before I draft. I'd like to have at least a little bit more of a concrete outline than just the main plot points. I'd like to have some idea of maybe chapters. That doesn't really work for my current projects because I started writing it without chapters and the character point of views shift a lot. So I don't know if there will be chapters. That will have to be something I decide in a future draft because right now there's no chapters. But for outline type purposes, I use a 4-act structure, so I kind of know what I want out of an outline. But sometimes it's hard for me to outline because the last time I did, it's this huge mess of story. So it's like I have to be like one or the other. I'm either gonna write it with just no physical outline, or I'm gonna outline almost every scene, and I'm just gonna say I'm a plantser. I'm a little bit of both. Although I'm trying to make good habits for future projects. Question 5. Are you self-published, published, or yet to be published? I am yet to be published. Just currently working on my projects, revising and editing. I'd like to start querying this year for literary agents, hopefully. Otherwise, I am not opposed to self-publishing. I actually really like that idea a lot, but I figured I would at least try for a literary agent. I don't know what will happen, but I am yet to be published. Hopefully in the next couple years I will be published, whether on my own or with a major publishing company. Question 6. If you're not yet published, what is your dream publishing house and or literary agent? I don't think I have an answer for this because I haven't honestly thought about it. I suppose there are some literary agents who represent some of my favorite authors, and I would love to maybe try to query them. I don't know, I guess it's one of those where I kind of look at authors I like, authors who might work similarly to me. So I don't have any in mind. Maybe once I start doing more research in terms of literary agents and publishing houses, I would have a better answer for that. But at this point, because I have not yet started querying or really even preparing for that, I don't have a good answer. But I would start with some authors that I really like and admire and kind of go from there and see if their literary agents might work for my purposes. Question 7. What Authortube related videos can we expect to find on your channel? So right now, because Camp NaNoWriMo is going on, it's mostly just me vlogging. Occasionally I do these tag videos and other little videos, like I just posted a writing and office supplies haul, and I'd like to do more bookish things, talking about books, book reviews, upcoming projects, my writing process, how it goes when I start querying agents, my potential publishing journey, all that kind of fun stuff. Question 8. When did you start writing? I guess I've been writing most of my life, but writing seriously, I started when I was 17, in my senior year of high school. That was when I took a creative writing class and I just realized, oh, you mean people write stories? Like, I loved reading books, and it just for some reason didn't occur to me that this is like a job that a lot of these people do, that they write their stories. I was like, oh, I have all these stories in my head. I've been writing them down all my life in these notebooks, and it just, I don't know, it opened this doorway of going, oh, this is what I would love to do. I feel like I have a lot of stories to tell, and that's, yeah. Question 9, what was the first story you ever wrote? I'm not sure I remember the first story I wrote, but I remember one of the first times I wrote a story for school. I think it was in 6th grade English, and we had to use vocabulary words. in a story, and I got to draw a picture for it, and it was just so creative that I felt like that was one of the easiest assignments for me to do in a long time, was using this creative outlet for me. And it was a story about a knight and princess and dragons, and it just, yeah, I really liked writing it. I think I kept the little manuscript that I had somewhere. I've moved a few times, so I don't know where it is, but I'm pretty sure I kept it. If I ever find it, I will I will show it on this channel. But I think that's one of the first like completed types of stories that I wrote. Otherwise, I was always just scribbling characters and world ideas into notebooks. And yeah, 10. What authors have inspired your writing the most? I would say, you know, I started reading Jim Butcher's The Dresden Files when I was about 17, kind of right before I started writing, and I really liked the voice of Harry Dresden. Jim Butcher has like such a great voice for that series. I loved it so much, and I think it was one of the first urban fantasy series that I had read, or read most of maybe. I think I tried a few here and there, but I really liked The Dresden Files. And Harry was very sarcastic, and it was kind of a dark series, but it was funny, and I really liked it. And that was one of the first series and one of the first authors that really inspired me to start writing, and I think one of the biggest influences of why I write contemporary fantasy so much. Question 11. Do you schedule your writing sessions or simply get to writing whenever you can find the time? I try to schedule, but I'm horrible at scheduling things. I don't know why. Like, I'll write things on a schedule and just not do it. So I kind of try to write whenever I can, and I'm trying to get in the habit of just saying, like, you know, even if I have 10 minutes to write at this moment, that's 10 minutes of writing, you know, that's better than nothing. Because I used to feel like if I couldn't sit down for an hour or two and like actually get a couple thousand words written, it seemed like it was not worthwhile to me. But I'm slowly getting used to just writing for 10 minutes or writing for 20 minutes when I have the time. And that's part of why I'm just trying to get a good writing habit down, is even if I can't do it daily, I'm trying to get used to it. So I'm a little bit of both. I try to schedule a little bit of time, but I will just take time wherever I can find it. And that's really been helping me get used to the idea of just make a little bit of progress whenever you can. Question 12. Do you type on a computer, typewriter, write everything out by hand, or use a blend of those? And where do you write in general? So when I'm drafting, it's on a computer. I'm using my computer or, you know, my keyboard, my nice keyboard. I draft on the computer. I do all of my character notes by hand, my world building notes by hand. That's what this notebook is. These are all just handwritten notes for my stuff. I wrote out this outline by hand first, and then eventually I typed it up, realized a lot of my scenes were out of order for what the story I wanted to tell, and so I cut and pasted and then continued to write notes on it by hand. So I'm really a mixture of those. I don't have a typewriter. I feel like I make too many mistakes for a typewriter. That it seems like a nice aesthetic, but not practical for me. So instead I have my keyboard that sounds like a typewriter. It's almost just as good. Suits my aesthetic purposes, right? So yes, drafting on a computer, notes and world building and everything else by hand. Where do you write in general? Here. That's why I also film here, because I spend a lot of my time here. That's here. Yeah. I used to try to go out to Starbucks and write, but my local Starbucks is pretty crowded. It's pretty small, and I get a lot of anxiety. I don't leave my house very much, so this is where I write. And if I'm ever out of the house and if I'm hanging out with friends or something, then it might be at Starbucks or at the library or a local coffee shop, something like that. Question 13, what are you most looking forward to now that you're a part of Authortube? You know, I just really love the community. I love watching other authors' videos, their daily, weekly vlogs, getting to see what their life is like, getting to see the progress that they're making, the challenges that they face, just, yeah, their writing process and everything like that. I love the support within the community, that everyone is just very supportive of each other, and I really appreciate that. So I think the supportive community is the best thing that I am most looking forward to in the Authortube community, that I already enjoy in the Authortube community. So it's only been a few weeks, but I love it. I love watching other people's videos, commenting, just trying to be supportive, and yeah, it's really a wonderful community. And I hope that if there's any writer out there that watches the Authortube videos and thinks, man, I might like to do that, like, do it. You probably won't regret it, okay? I waffled about this for a long time. I wanted to do this last year. I'm glad I'm a part of this community now. I'm looking forward to making progress and just sharing my journey with other authors who are on the journey as well. If you're new to Authortube and you haven't done this tag, go ahead and do it. Have fun answering the questions, and just, yeah, let me know. Let me know if you've done this tag. If I haven't watched your video and commented, then let me know that you've already done this tag, and I'll go watch it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post writing and reading and bookish related videos twice, sometimes 3 times a week if I'm feeling motivated. Social media links are listed down below. I'm most active on Twitter and Instagram if you want to follow me there. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.